OKFM 101.7.
Honorable Ras Mubarak, a former MP for Kumbungu, where in Centroni na Obaye Rastafarian group nso Honorable Ekahu. Honorable Ras, you watch it? Never called here. I'm a few power garden city start up a reggae unadulterated one. Hey. Oh. Now I be you, Sano Kakra. Honorable, sir, LGBTQI plus. You're coming now. Lesbians, gay, transgender, queer, and others. Sadly, a coso a check. Kakra, what more you individually. A fair year we are one more organized group. When someone who did him, we are a politics, dear war, and one social canker, dear ho, and we were home. Just branches baby. Na asemi yen kan say pa.
Well, the final intelligence, in terms of security intelligence, and still talk a crap on because one would say these are some of the things that they would pick up early enough to stop it from coming, from happening. Once the security agencies, from time to time, they are able, they have intelligence enough to be able to stop it before it even happens. If there are some bad issues also, they get intelligence enough to be able to. Now, we know, we all of us, we are politicians, we are failing, or now more. Either a incredible preaching or Christian preaching with African traditional assembly members are failing, for failing, media for getting higher feeling. Because this is a fight that would require your contribution towards making sure that and happen media would be ever fine to determine what happens in their country. And she over Europe say polygamy, almost say lie, or bumper. That is their culture. And you can say will be any or more. And I would share some articles with producers here for you to see where in Europe polygamists have been persecuted, have been jailed.
By purpose in Canada. A church of Mormons for they've been convicted of polygamy for 5 years.
Exactly. And you ask yourself, say, more ignorantly, or more can say, we are seeing because of human rights. Other US, Canada, Europe, or Muslims, amount for human rights to be polygamy. Now, when they say, where is this thing taking us? Again, I will share some stories with you in the UK. We'll be able to channel if you know. One of the girls said, or say he feels like a disabled person, but now as a disabled person, it is within his human rights to part of what. We say, or a Bruni, or say, feel or you're black, or any form out the form you have, you desire gender, religion, culture, different race, and in filling a form indicates that or you're black. Ebra, who said, or you're blue, but I say human rights indicate that or you're black. So it is getting into the realm of absurdity. Now, Adebia, Emfa, Insunshawa, Edebano, I say it's too active. This we need to uproot it from our society. Or more America says these people have rights. Of course, they have rights not to be beaten. They have rights not to be killed. But that's where the rights end. That is where those rights end. But they don't have any right in our law. They don't. They don't have any right in our laws to do the kinds of things that they want to do. Now, actually, I'm not a sorry, you know, it is within the human rights to go about robbing now. Ultimately, I stop for me. Actually, Abofra, like I said, he feels like an adult. If he has to be treated like an adult, it is a human right. Would we treat that child like an adult? Actually, maybe he feels like a 7-year-old. If he should be treated like a 7-year-old and given chop money, would we give him chop money? That is the realm of madness that we should be going into. And all of us, everybody, will be here on dog of mind Ghana. Now, you know, the time-tested moral values that we have in our country, we actually uphold those time-tested values, you know. As a set of war. Now, we need to pay attention. What are the kids doing? What kinds of movies are they watching? What kinds of things are they reading? And then we can all protect the school system, the media, comic, media. Now radio stations, TV stations, Obama platform for these people to come on their platforms and be talking about why others should join them or why they should be allowed to practice what they are. And I said, so be an armed robber, and I'll be a cyber criminal, and I will be which are all crimes against our laws. In our laws. Would you give that person, would you give him a platform to come and sit on radio and talk about how good that is? Would you give anybody whose activity is criminal within our laws airtime to come and justify? You wouldn't. So that same principle should apply to this gay, lesbian, bisexual thing, which in our laws, they may crime. And I'm hoping, I've spoken to some of my colleagues, I've spoken to the Reverend Tim Fojo, MP for South Africa, and some other colleagues. Say, look, they need to bring legislation that would prohibit media houses, TV stations, motor movies, some of the scenes in the movies. Not a man, not mema. We need to recommend things that go about doing those things. Radio stations are on my platform, not for the to justify their illegal activities. We need to begin to recommend because I believe we will make a lot of progress. And that progress begins with all of us. Assemblyman for Mama winning now in their community. Instead of things that are happening.
Honorable. Me share a DB. Na saadi na mnisi at time bomb so. Ye wo Ghana ha. Ehase free footballers na wo mo footballers wa abrocho no ma bo wo ti. O ma bo emesate se de e ma bo wo ti no. Ni ye ba Ghana for yanka hwe na afei boys no o mo abobo o ma sumtu abo earring no the earrings ahyehyem yanka ho hwe ye wo ha no o ma start piercing na ma no ni o mu na ye bi yanka ho hwe afei ye wo ye hu de ye tattoo abaye bibia abehye o man so yanka ho hwe afei de ebedru ba bia emema bilichi pa huna ya kwa no etuntum wa ye broni amam no yanka ho hwe enti wo bia ye society norms no any parenting any niema bia kane na ye each other's keeper any ewon kwala so ne ade no ase jato enti se akwala abo na sum yanka hwe wo hu se ne yakwa abo na sum wa bo mesh ayi mo friends enti okon ro be ma pa wabo afa ebu okra huna be ma wake kan nsa so onante ti se oba enu de anka ho wi enti ye bedu sei a ye mbrem ye hu bia na.
We have to blame ourselves. Parents have failed. We have failed. You know, the schools have failed. The pastors and imams have failed. The governments have failed. The media has failed. Obibia, assemblymen, info. We have failed as a society. Because every society is unique. Milia. Okwabuchia said Japan or more their way of living. Asia, they have their way of living, which includes Japan. Over Central Europe, or more, or Mamre, over here, I said, Siatra, you call it Siatra. Yes, drama.
Oh, no, Manama Bakura. Obonum na o twa video wa hye winter dress a wa di obi wa bro chintin wa hye ototo no nsa ewuri o presa wo ye ayi artist ni bi grade dey say oh o she pull over no wa hye suit aguso no de basic TV so
and you have TV stations who are airing a lot of these videos. Videos are adding any value to our way of life as a society. Maybe we have the requirement. And I'm praying, sir, na yebema yenyadaho na sa abunka enwe sa etuade ya on professor modeba ye mind and yitimi etwas. It has nothing to do with human rights. And Kwame, I've just sent you 2 items. One is a BBC report on polygamy in Germany. Another video from a news station in the US. Enumerating some of these excesses, even in their own society. So I didn't know where are we going as a society? Because once you begin to recognize these people, you know what's going to happen? You need to even change the definition of what marriage is. In our laws, marriage is between a man and a woman. Once you begin to recognize them, you have to redefine what marriage is in the statutes. Is that where we want to go to? Do we want to see our brothers, sisters, our children, take up this perverted behavior to the extent that they are comparing us to other countries that are overly liberal? And comment, whenever I'm in the US or in Canada, my colleagues found because I know that Omumra polygamy. So I respect their laws. And that is why
I'm making sure so be able to
I'm making sure so be able to oh that BBC story now. I mean, in spite of this whole talk about human rights, they are saying polygamy, lie, and that is Europe. Europe are among forces in terms of upholding human rights. They are number one. There are certain rights they are not allowed. Why are they not allowing these rights? They are not allowing these rights because it's adherence and culture. And nobody should attack them for that. We have our culture, we have our way of life. We need to guard it with our lives, and make sure that but no meaning of for the body we need to approve it from our society and make sure that it does not gain ground. I would also use this opportunity because I see some failure on the part of the security services. Imagine that cyber criminals and care for Facebook and I said ask Robert and care for Facebook. I'm sure by now the police of the CID cyber security unit would have found a way of shutting it down. These people have even online presence. They have pages LGBTQI Ghana on Facebook, on Twitter, and the rest. the security agencies need to be up and doing. These are not things that we have to entertain and tolerate in this part of Africa, because we keep hearing some people ignorantly say that, but the thing is already happening in South Africa. That is why South Africa is called South Africa and Ghana. If South Africa decides to recognize that they are in our country, Nananuma, Asofo, Malam, Imam, all of us, majority, are saying that this is not a practice that we want to maintain in our culture. And this has nothing, Kwame, nothing, it has nothing to do with human rights.
Na mama musadi bi na no me ne pani mi di nkomo wo se se wo ba ba bi ti se bi am fa se gender ministry no ne Ghana AIDS Commission na ye ma wo mu sika bi a wo mu nim se sa ankrofo bi wo mu country no mo ye sa de no specifically ye mfa ntonroma wo mu ye fam emwa wo mu ne ade ade e na wo se loans ne grant wo de wa tena parliament pe minim se de sitie ye se loans bi wo wa one of the preconditions a better home sa nima it is a okaze me mo mo nye kura no a ye bo wo ma anre na loan no ama said the America for at say
no and there's no loan that has come to Parliament in the last 4 years that have been in Parliament that is conditioned on Ghana accepting gay, lesbian and bisexual issues. I didn't a fear, and they said David Cameron, and the could be an said Africa we need to begin to recognize gay rights. And yes, Mudema Ghana, Mudema Africa, and that they are recognizing rights now, and that they are Mudema Africa. But I know the condemnation and the attacks we got now. Here I said, it is not the way to go. They may try to condition, some form of assistance to our educational system, our health system. They may condition it on accepting some of these things. There are some of these as a problem. Ombe Saudi Arabia, Ombe Iran, Akokachio, gay rights, they are ambassadors in the Middle East. I didn't say the Middle East, you see, as Africans, we need to accept our authority and the sovereignty of our country. We are a sovereign nation. Now, you know, the saying, "Ana army, obi a host to know." Those diplomats are guests in our country. Not diplomats be, out of the respect for Mother Ghana, it's because in a meeting with a group of people whose activity is illegal. You know, understand the army. And up to now, those diplomats are in our country, and we haven't expelled them. So these things happen, and it's exposing other diplomats to disrespect us. Imagine if this had happened in Egypt or in Morocco or in Syria or in the Middle East. Those diplomats would have been sent out on the next flight. And that is my disappointment with the current government. Something like this happened in our country, and they are still in this country. Why? Where is our sovereignty as a country?
Honorable, and young one said in governmental circles, I said there is that quietude over this matter.
There was also in which circles?
In governmental circles. Okay,
Abemu.
I said there is that quietude over these matters.
And that is a disappointment. I mean, we should be able to look these Europeans in the face, irrespective of whatever agreement we have with them, bilateral, multilateral, tell themselves these things are a no-go area in our country. And that is my disappointment with government. So people like things like these are happening, and government hasn't come out forcefully say, that no way we won't entertain it in our country. And what would it take to respect Nananuma history and the majority of the Ghanaian public who are completely against these things? So you are right, Udika, your observation is accurate. You are not the only one who has seen it. Many Ghanaians that expressed their disappointment over government's, feet dragging in forcefully dealing with this thing. Imagine, imagine that these things had happened in some other country. Those diplomats would have been out. But even imagine, sir, Ghana ambassadors are more in America. Imagine Ambassador Blake, Gina Blake, former ambassador to Germany.
Germany, yeah.
Now in Germany, Wakota in a meeting with a bunch of people who are promoting polygamy in Germany. The German government would have written forcefully to the Ghanaian government, asking the Ghanaian government, recall the ambassador. That is what would have happened. Imagine that happened in the US. They would have expelled our ambassador over there. So where lies our sovereignty? Yeah. Independence of the country, but where is it? So among people no movement breaking a laws. And they even have the audacity to post pictures on social media. And even have that to speak about some of these things. And these people are still in the country. The government should be bold. If they want to support it, they should let us know they are in support. Then we can call them out as supporters of gay, lesbian, and bisexual issues. If they are against it, they should be bold enough. Not just to condemn, but to take steps and tell those diplomats who were part of the process. That is what we do as a country. But this quietness, as you rightly put, this deafening silence is worrying. I am worried as a Ghanaian.
Because maintain Bia said the Australian ambassador can one ambassador can FBA Ministry of Foreign Affairs and now FBA Minister for Information maintain Bia gain semi every presidency and I know me years yes the president I order saying close those and Yamaniamano actually Kobasa saying no correct will be communicate BMI yɛwura Moses for money mu ɛna wɔn ani abere a wɔn nyinaa yɛ nyinaa de ho agyimu a yɛn kakrakra asɛm yi awrahu
and mamemo owura Moses for money abaso the born abaso for the spirited these are this he's a patriot and he's the kind of people we should encourage in our country. Coming from a very long time, people like himself, people like Muhammad Yahya, like the Honorable Mustafa, former people quit. Me born about to pray. Alban Baxter, me born about to pray. I mean, that's the kind of leadership we expect in our country. Said BBC, we will not tolerate it. That is the position of Ghana, and that should be able to hold. Crispy government member in fact, whether they like it or not. But what is happening? Who's already there? It's not flying about. People in government who may be supporting some of these things, and for which the government is taking a softly approach to these things. I don't know. I don't have the facts. What I know should happen is that we are a sovereign nation. Europeans can't dictate to Ghana how we should live our lives. And of course, Wamoka said, if you don't accept it, we won't give you data. So be it. We need to begin to look within Ghana to have solutions to our problems. Have we not touted a policy of Ghana beyond A? Come have we
Ghana beyond A
policy of Ghana beyond A?
Sure.
And if you have touted a policy of Ghana beyond A, what is the fear in thinking if you go hard on these issues, some form of aid might not come into your country? Really and truly, we don't even need it. Really and truly. The Capasusheno Poya Air Force over bloated government contracts near the idea. So you're basically to we should be good as a country. There's so much resources here. The opportunities in this country are enormous. And I believe all of us, if we put our shoulders to the wheel, we can make this country a greater country without depending on these people for aid. In any case, Kwame, if they are deciding to withhold the aid from Europe, there are other trading partners. We could trade with Brazil. We could trade with Saudi Arabia. We could trade with UAE. We could trade with Africa. We could seek support from anywhere if it becomes necessary. But I don't even think that we need to be dependent on all of these foreign countries for the sort of things that we depend on. These are things we can inherently do in our country. And your culture, we need to uphold the peace. Now, we have platform for these gay, bisexual, lesbians, or whatever, and they are supported and sponsored. And no, actually said, close and do it. We carry out a book of our we are say on your 80s, on TV said, Nakopon, and I say, Supreme Asia.
Aye.
And they have constituted themselves as supporters of gay rights and lesbian rights.
Oh, and what not better now?
I know they're not better now. And I'm ignorant. Emma fact they are giving that from Wikipedia. Any scholar will know that this election Wikipedia is not a credible source.
Now I dear way the Biameka say and some truffle. That media practitioners in baby what Nenina Jegman one, Oceania 2. Adia Nankasa Crown on Tiasi. Nipana uko fa no ba ya wo ye no public na etie wo dey na person omenye film
exactly and it's as if say ode a event say arm robber abatuma studio say unjustified arm robbery as if say ode a cyber criminal abatuma studio say unjustified cyber crime. That's exactly what it is, and I'm really proud that media houses would desist from giving platforms. I mean, it's illegal in our laws. So what are you trying to achieve by going to get some lesbian or gay person to come and sit on your TV and spew the ignorance or his ignorance? What are you trying to achieve by that? Because that is not journalism. That cannot be journalist.
Say, me Supreme Court petition you cry example. Would ye journalists be because we one the educational level you're saying 2. Adiana Casanti ya or TB 3. No TB we are kind various submissions and the idea 4. One crowd, what does he or she seek to achieve? Oh.
We have quite a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping that away for you remember you need alcohol, you're more faster, especially teenagers. You remember you need alcohol. So nightclub owners. I mean, obviously when things begin to go, when things begin to normalize, nightclub owners need to pay attention. Your friends say restaurant owners need to pay attention because these are the places that they go to, and young fine for intelligence, security. They need to have a system where they are patronizing these spots to be able to pick up, to identify where these.
On my way, and send your baby come. I'm fast and be I'm going for now a showman. You call ya no Medjanino and go for bisa question say. So penifoni bin from maybe a police force here and one boy mama say yeah bana munwane and now say another question na no other obi wa baju obi fie and a wo dey activities a tie wo man mra edi wo tu afiri mu a edi enti na ese ye ko fa ho lawyer for ne ye korokoro no ne ye twero check man say ne ye check ne esa ne mako without any form of prosecution or whatever. Akomo we would tell say
right side, but that is the reality situation we find ourselves. That is why I would continue to encourage landladies. Everybody, this is a fight for all of us. Promise. Okay, sorry now about that. My main first people it was the BBC that carried the story on 15th of June. And this is coming from their quote, the Justice of Germany. Or say, no one who comes here, meaning Obibia Babate, has the right to put his cultural values or religious beliefs above our laws. This is the Justice of Germany speaking in 2015. Or say, in some Islamic countries, men are allowed to take up to 4 wives. But in Germany, polygamy is banned by law. In Ghana, homosexuality, gay, lesbian, whatever, is something that we have banned. Who are these disrespectful diplomats? To tell us that we need to recognize those. Who are they? To the extent that
we cannot bite.
But that is wrong. And that is why Parliament can put a stop to this nonsense. Trust me. Parliament will take necessary steps to enact legislation that would prohibit media houses from showing scenes or movies that have
these undertones, yeah.
And then radio stations, TV stations, newspapers, from providing a platform for these people to come and promulgate, to come and propagate the things that they want to promote. Because in the last 1 week, I've been so saddened. You tune into a radio station and they are interviewing a gay person. You tune into a TV station and they are interviewing a gay person who is on TV, not showing remorse, but seeking to justify why he should be allowed to perpetrate a crime which is against our law. You know that Germany can tell and their citizens say they won't accept one law. They won't accept an alien culture as far as they are concerned. And no one has an issue with that. Human rights activists are not shouting from the rooftop, shouting to the Germany and people the right to practice polygamy. They don't have a problem with that. And the whole of Europe. But they have a problem with African countries, also deciding, say, this is our culture, we are protecting our culture. It's a no-go area. And I blame, like I said, I blame all of us. The school system has failed us, parents have failed, the churches, the mosques, they have failed, the chiefs have failed, everybody has failed, the media have failed. But we can pick up the pieces because no nation is perfect. But we can do things that would lead us towards perfection. And picking up the pieces would mean enacting legislation to plug the loopholes in existing legislation. Because this was in the 60s. Obviously, things have come about that need to be incorporated in the new laws. We need to do it as soon as possible. If I were still a member of Parliament, it would have been one of those things that I would champion forcefully. I take consolation and excitement in Reverend Steve Fodjo, who is an MP, in Mama Muntakan, when Parliament comes, they would initiate private member legislation. That is what we need. To send a strong signal there, or more corporate form, or more lifestyle now, you say, and not that, Yabemano, I take it, Yabemano outgrow in our country. And they can go to wherever they want to go to. But our government needs to send a strong signal. And one point to begin from would be to expel those diplomats who disrespectfully decided to disrespect the host nation. Because imagine say what you want now you see no, you know, you lock the gate at 10 p.m. Obi a what you want to say on there. Although I could think know about 2 a.m. Who are you host to that person? What would you do? And I said, who feel on also area, you no more time will feel and I am not break who feel. No on the break with them or that one and some other you.
Uba grow down kitchen or do utensils in here.
So we are hosting them. And we can equally expel them and nothing will happen. The same way that they can't do these things in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, and other places, we should make it unattractive.
Now, Obi say, I then want to offices, no. Obenya dan krama omo nima ana fadama ana kumasi zabunzongu ose odi opedama omo mara omo fa me bo anum
ho but finally my ministry people and obi dia oya against this thing everybody say they because some of them they actually need help psychologically, mentally. They need help.
Ebe okwa kwai ofa so be wura mu no. Yeah.
Exactly. Enti se obi e bibisa eye bisa o fear na o man temu a. You can hand them over to the police. You can report them at the chief's palace. But let's not assault them. Because sabe otukoye afro bi kura na e china. Emma ho kwan se ye be bro no awro no ntade ne. You know, so we should endeavor to accord them, you know, that discipline. And that is the only point that Mecca said they have right. Apart from that, they don't have right to do any of those things that they want to do in our country.
Okay. Honorable Madam Secretary.
Namisha. Na most from Ghana some pa.
That's it.
Omo Muhammad.
Amen.
Na Kwame Despite. We were Despite the Jumazo. I mean, these are the kinds of things and programming that we want to hear on our radio station. Not even a platform for homosexuals and lesbians to come in and pollute our community.
Yes, me no kasa wie ya kwa ye Fred doctor amana be chire omo sabe ye fa wo to no de ya na wo to no medically enti ya na wakachi obi aso onti so why. Bye bye. Honorable Ras Mubarak, a former MP for Kumbungu, and Yaneno H3 and Komono.
OKFM 101.7.